Hey, what's going on, guys? It's Matty Miller with ERA Real Estate, and you see a guest today. That is Dan Ribler with Fiber Mortgage, and I just wrapped up a meeting with Dan and his team, and we were talking about what exactly do you call it again? A buy before you sell program, essentially.
Yeah, we call it the Contingency Buster, but it helps folks buy a new house before they sell their old one.
Gotcha. So I really wanted to bring Dan on really quickly to talk about those things. He's got a few points that we're going to go through as far as people that are facing a little bit of issues with wanting to move, but they can't quite figure out how they're going to sell their house, buy a new house, ignore the short-term rentals and do all those things. So we'll go through those points here very quickly. All right. So Dan, tell me a little bit more about, you call it inflation? No, you call
Contingency Buster. Yeah,
that's the term.
We call it the Contingency Buster. What we've found, Matty, is people want to buy a house and sometimes they don't qualify to carry two mortgage payments.
Sure.
Usually they don't qualify to carry two mortgage payments. So what folks end up doing is they have to look at like finding a short-term rental, or they live in a hotel for a couple of weeks, or they put in offers which are contingent on selling the other house, which obviously is less attractive to the sellers and translates to probably a higher price point, or maybe the offer doesn't get accepted. What am I going to do with stuff when I move out of one house to the other? So we built a program where folks can exclude their current mortgage payment from their debt to income, and they can qualify to buy a new house while they still own their old house,
which alleviates a lot of problems. So obviously if somebody's looking to upgrade, and our market's still strong, there's no doubt, but most sellers don't want to entertain anything that has a contingency on it. We've already been through that market exclusively over the last 3 years. That like, hey, if you got a contingency, get out of here, because there's 9 more people that are going to buy the house that don't have that. So they're not taking any risk or any chance. So to avoid that, number one is huge. And then also let's talk a little bit about kind of how that process works.
Yeah.
When you explain it to me, it's like, okay, hold on, what? And I just want to get this out there. And I know for anybody that's going to watch this video, they're going to have more questions. And that's great. We'll get to the contact information later, and we can touch base. So give me some insider detail on that.
Yeah. There's a couple components to it, right? So one is we can exclude it from debt to income, so you can qualify to buy a new house and you can own both. The other thing is, outside of qualifying, lots of folks don't want to make 2 mortgage payments at the same time, right? So this program is designed, if you have equity in your house, if you have 25% equity, somewhere around there, it starts to make a lot of sense. We will get you from an investor. It's not from us. We have a third-party investor. They will make you a guaranteed offer on your house. From the time that you close on the new house that you're buying, you have 90 days to sell your house on the open market for whatever price you want. If you're working with Matty, obviously you're going to get fair market value plus. And if and if not, you have this backstop of this other loan. In addition to excluding that payment from your debt to income, you also don't even have to make payment on the house that
you're spread. Yeah.
What we do is the day that you close on your new house, you get a 0% interest payment-free loan against the equity in the house that you're selling. You can use it for the down payment on your new house, and actually you can also use it to make the mortgage payments on the house that you're leaving. So you're never in a scenario where you have to carry 2 mortgage payments.
Yeah.
That's right. Ideally, and in a normal scenario in this market, for sure, Matty, you're going to have their house sold in less than 90 days. I imagine, right?
I mean, assuming that it's priced properly and all those things, like that shouldn't be a scenario where it would be a problem. What I love about this product is it solves a big need for a lot of people, especially with the way rates are currently. Hey, they're going to go do this, they're going to go do that. It's like, hey, listen, we'll have the rate conversation later, but at the same time, we can make this pretty painless for you. As opposed to, in the old days, if you're going to buy and sell a house, you had to try to finagle the dates. Well, we're going to close on this one on this date, and we're going to close on this one the day before. And if something gets messed up, whether it's an appraisal, a survey, something stupid, it can throw the whole deal off. And again, in a slower market, when people were less quick to go find a new buyer or find a new seller or whatever the case is, yeah, that wasn't a huge deal. But over the last 2-3 years in a more competitive market, programs like this really excite me, to be honest with you.
Yeah, absolutely.
So, yeah, I'm Go ahead. You were going to say.
When you talked about rate for a second there too. So just to kind of layer on here, if you have significant equity in the house that you're selling, because you can get that loan from the equity of your house with no payment, no interest, you can put that balance towards the down payment on your new house, which puts you in a completely different price tier for the new mortgage that you're going to get. So not only can you move in sooner, you also end up with a better rate because you can use the proceeds from the bridge loan to get a bigger down payment.
You're probably going to have at least 20% plus in
that's
down
right
payment, most of it.
That's right. So you're getting out of mortgage insurance, you're getting into a much better rate. Like the savings on the new house that you're buying are significant when you get to that like better quality price tier.
Yeah. And just real quick, and I just wanted to make sure that everybody knows, like, obviously that program is not free. So
Correct.
Cost, and it's 2.4% on the loan amount. Is that right?
It's 2.4% netted out of the house that you sell when you sell it. Okay. So there's nothing that anybody pays for up front. There's no appraisal. There's zero out-of-pocket cost for anybody that's looking at doing this. It does cost 2.4% of the purchase. 2.4% of the sale price.
Sale price, yes.
Of the house that you're moving out of. Okay. And so that is a conversation, right? To make sure that this is a good fit. That's one where I'd kind of jump in and have conversations, Matty, on, all right, well, it costs 2.4%. That's this many dollars. Yep. On the new house that you're buying, you're saving this many dollars by being in a better price tier, by being in a better down payment bucket.
I know that's a new program for you, but have you seen that through completely yet to where you can kind of give at some point? We don't have to do that.
Yeah, no. Well, what ends up happening on every single one of them that we've done before or so far is the house ends up selling relatively quickly. And especially if you're doing the right thing on listing it at the appropriate price, you have a realistic expectation of what you should sell. On most of them, actually, that I've done so far, people don't actually end up even using the program. What they'll do is they'll put their contingency free offer in, they'll set up a 45-day close while they have the house that they're moving out of listed. And if they can get that sold, do a simultaneous close, your offer got accepted because it was contingency free. You don't even have to use this program outside of using it as
but it's still a backstop for somebody that wants to do exactly to upgrade or downgrade or whatever the situation may be. So absolutely. Well, and I wanted to keep this short, so I appreciate you doing this kind of after we met this morning and we're going through some things. And what I want to do is obviously, guys, if you're out there looking and you're thinking about making a move, and you kind of think your back's up against a wall with options, and hey, I got kids and I got to do this, and I don't want to move twice, and I don't want to do a short-term Airbnb, but I really want to move. Okay, well, what's the easiest way to do that? This is a program that I think can change the way we maybe even operate in the real estate world, especially in a market like we're currently dealing with, where there is low inventory, where there is, not that we're getting a ton of multiple offers, but they're still out there for sure. I mean, it's not every house.
I'm seeing them.
Yeah, no, it's definitely happened for sure. I've had it in the last couple months. So it still definitely happens. So there are ways to make it easy for you as the consumer to be able to buy a home and sell a property at the same time without, just pulling your hair out for the most part. So Dan, I think we'll have more conversations about this, and I'd love to get one through. So if you're out there looking around, contact me. You guys know all my contact information. It'll be on here. Dan, how do they reach you?
Best bet is probably go through you, but if anybody does want to reach me directly, 703-618-4417 is my cell phone. I always tell people call or text 24/7 is fine. If it's a bad time, I just won't answer. Yeah. But realistically,
I'll get back to you as soon as I can, right?
Yeah. There you go. That's it. Realistically, though, I'd say going through Matty's probably the best bet because Matty, you'll obviously know a lot more about where to direct them, what the kind of concerns are. The biggest question on this will be, what's my house worth? Yeah. And that's something that you'd have to answer. I wouldn't have a good insight on that.
For sure. So, well, Dan, I really appreciate you joining me. And again, we'll, who knows, maybe this video will trigger a couple people to give me a shout and let's have a real conversation about it. And, let's get something on paper so people can see, what that savings is, how easy it can actually be in a tough market to buy and sell at the same time. So I really appreciate it, man. I'm sure we will talk very soon, and we'll go from there.
Yeah, thanks for having me, Matty. Appreciate you.
All right, man. Take care.
All right. Bye.
Yeah.